What's good, my people? What's good, my people? It's your boy Dev back with another video, and in today's video we have another playoff preview in the Western Conference. It's going to be the number 1 seed in the Los Angeles Lakers versus the number 4 seed in the Houston Rockets. So how these videos usually work out, we go over the starting lineups, then we go over the games that they played in the regular season, then we'll probably hit the benches of both teams, followed by the coaches, and then I'll probably get into my predictions around the end of the video. So let's just start with the Lakers starting lineup. So they come out with a center in JaVale McGee, who averages 6.6 rebounds and looked pretty well against the Blazers in that last series. He didn't get as many minutes as I thought he was going to get playing against Nurkic and Whiteside, but in those minutes that he did get, he did pretty well. Then we'll get to Anthony Davis, who was dominant in that last series against the Blazers, who averaged 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. Him and LeBron, they change out every night who's Batman and who's Robin. And in that series, Anthony Davis definitely looked like Batman, but LeBron was nuts as well. He was averaging 27 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and he was the point guard, but he plays small forward. But on the Lakers, he's their point guard. Danny Green and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope are that shooting guard and small forward usually, or really on that Lakers team. KCP is averaging 11 points, 40% shooting from deep, and really knocking down shots. Danny Green is averaging 8 points, and he needs to get his three-point shooting percentage up, only coming in at 38% in that last series against the Blazers. Now let's move to the Rockets starting lineup. So their center is a lot smaller than the Lakers center in JaVale McGee. That's 7 foot. They have a 6'6" power or small forward playing center, and he's a perfect build for the way Mike D'Antoni wants to run their offense and defense. And it's PJ Tucker at that center spot, averaging 9 points, 8 rebounds, 37% shooting from deep, and 2 assists. And he's playing a lot of the tough minutes down in the paint, switching on. The Rockets switch everything, and he's able to switch on and guard centers, and do whatever it takes for Mike D'Antoni and that team. Robert Covington is another key pickup that the Rockets had this year. He's averaging 13 points on 50% shooting from deep, and he's one of their better defensive players on the team. I really like to watch Robert Covington play, and I like to see his silky smooth jump shot go down. It's a high release, nothing but net when it gets to the rim, and like I said, he's shooting 50%, so if he can continue that, the Rockets are going to definitely have a chance to win this series. Eric Gordon is averaging 18 points. Now, while he's averaging 18 points, he's only shooting 25% from the three-point line. He's going 2 for 8 on majority of games, and that's not going to cut it against the Lakers, especially with LeBron and Anthony Davis going up against them. And Eric Gordon is not a playmaker at that guard spot, so if he's not scoring, he's really a liability on the court, and he's averaging 3 assists with 3 turnovers. So we're going to need that to get we're going to need a lot more from Eric Gordon in this series for the Rockets to have a chance. James Harden is their shooting guard, coming in at 29 points a game, on 31% shooting from the three-point line, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. He's getting to the free throw line 8 times a game. So James Harden is playing his game still in the playoffs, even though Game 7 against the Thunder was a pretty bad game. I wouldn't say it was a bad game because he won the game on the defensive side for the Rockets with that block in the last minute or in the last couple of seconds of that game. So you wouldn't imagine that James Harden's biggest play to the series is a defensive play. But last series he was missing shots. He dedicated himself to the defensive side to win that series for the Rockets. Then at point guard, we have Russell Westbrook, who's averaging 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. He's only played 3 games in the playoffs, so out of the 7 games that the Rockets played last series, he only played 3 of them, and he's working his way back into that dominant player that we all know Russell can be. So now let's get into the games that they played in the regular season. So they played on January 18th, where the Lakers won 124 to the Rockets 115. LeBron had 31 points and 12 assists. This was before the Rockets went all in on small ball, and they played again on February 6th, where that was where they made their trade for Robert Covington, and then focused all really on small ball, and they beat the Lakers 121 to 111. And then on August 6th, the Lakers played the Rockets again, where the Rockets were able to win 113-97. LeBron didn't play in this game, but the Rockets were playing small ball again against the Lakers and showing their dominance. So now let's move to the benches of both teams. We'll start with the Lakers. They come out with Kyle Kuzma as their sixth man, averaging 11 points, 4 rebounds on 30% shooting from deep. Kyle Kuzma is a player that everyone seems to think is a superstar, and I don't know if it's because he's young, and when I watch him play, it's just he looks super confused on the court to be a 3-year veteran in this league. You would think he would know his role on this team by now. Dwight Howard averages 8.7 rebounds and really dominated that last series. Without him, I don't believe the Lakers would have won that series. I'm not going to lie to you. Alex Caruso is averaging 5 points, 4 assists, and he's only shooting 20% from deep. They're going to need that to improve. And then to round out their 9-man rotation, they have Marquise Morris averaging 4 points, 25% from deep, and 4 rebounds. So now let's get to the Rockets bench. So the Rockets come out with Jeff Green averaging 13 points on 46% shooting from the three-point line and 6 rebounds, and really looked nice in that last series. I like him playing that big man spot for the Rockets and setting picks, picking pops, and knocking down open shots off of James Harden and Russell Westbrook's penetration. Then we have Austin Rivers, who's averaging 3 points and 3 rebounds and only shooting 19% from the three-point line. So he's going to have to improve that as well if they want to have a chance. Ben McLemore is averaging 4 points on 40% shooting from deep. So I see him getting a lot more minutes and probably a lot more touches in this series. And then the House Junior kid is averaging 13 points on 37% from the 3, 6 rebounds, and I like his body and his impact on the game for the Rockets. He is like a spark player for them, a young player that's athletic, can knock down shots and play defense that the way that D'Antoni wants him to play. So now let's get into the keys to victory for both teams, and then we'll get into the coaches, and then we'll get into predictions. So my first key to victory is turnovers. So the Rockets are better than you would think on the defensive side, and that's because they have a whole lot of athleticism. With that athleticism, their players have great hands, so they knock out passes and lazy passes and loose dribbles with the ball. PJ Tucker is a lockdown defender. Robert Covington, like I said, is a very good defender. House Jr. is a good defender. Jeff Green is long and can move his feet. So the Lakers are going to have to cut down on those turnovers, and LeBron is not going to be able to average probably 5-6 turnovers in this series and still win. I don't see it happening because they're just going to get the Rockets out in transition, and the Rockets are wonderful in transition, knocking down open jump shots, getting to the rim. James Harden is a scary sight to see in the open court, not because he's a freight train like LeBron, but because he can hit that step back for a 3. You got to be worried about that. He can take it to the rack, and you know the refs are going to give calls his way. The next thing is three-point shooting for both teams. These teams are dedicated on three-point shooting. So the Rockets are shooting 36% from deep as a team, and the Lakers are shooting 34% as a team. So whoever wins this three-point shooting battle, I could see winning this series very easily. And then the last thing on this, the keys to victory, is Anthony Davis. Is Anthony Davis going to come out and drop 30 a night again like he did against Portland? I don't know if that's going to be able to happen because the Rockets are probably going to put PJ Tucker on him or Robert Covington, so he's not going to be getting those walk-up easy mid-range jump shots that he was getting against the Portland Trailblazers because they had slower big man that was guarding him, so they were giving him that leeway so they didn't get blown by to the rim. With the Rockets, I see them up tight pressure on him and not giving him no free opportunities at 15-foot jump shots to get him going. So now let's get into our head coaches, and then we'll get into the predictions right after that. So Mike D'Antoni is the head coach of the Rockets with a 53-52 record in the postseason. He's taken over the Rockets since 2016, and he's got them to levels that they weren't expecting to get to. But once he gets to that highest level, he seems to get knocked off the pedestal. They had a 3-1 lead against the Warriors a few years ago, gave that up. But I do like Mike D'Antoni, and he's been through a lot of things in his career. So now let's get to the Lakers head coach and Frank Vogel. He has a 35-31 record in the playoffs, and majority of those games were with the Pacers, other than the 5 games that he had last series with the against the Blazers. This is his first season as the Lakers head coach. So we will see what he can do and see if he can get them to the Western Conference Finals. Like I said, this is where the predictions come. So I have the Lakers winning this series 4-2. And it's just really because of LeBron and the height that AD has against the Rockets. I don't think small ball is going to work against the LeBron and the Rockets in the Lakers, just because of LeBron's dominance at that point guard spot. I don't know how the Rockets are going to set up their matchups to match up accordingly for the Lakers. But let me know if you think I'm wrong. Let me know if you think the Rockets will win this game or this series. If you think they'll win a few more, if you think they'll win that extra game, push it to a game 7. Let me know who you think be in the finals. I want to thank you for watching my video. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel at Break It Down Dev. Subscribe to my boy Jackson's channel at Jackson Kruger Sports. Like the video for me, comment, share it with your friends that's fans of the Lakers or the Rockets. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay easy.